What's up, guys? I'm Chris. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're going to be reacting to My Hero Academia Chapter 287. Now, this is going to be something a little bit different than what I normally do, because normally I react to music videos and stuff like that. But, like I said, I want to do something different. Excuse me, guys. I want to do something different. And I thought this would be like a fun thing to do. I've been trying to get back and read manga. When I was like a freshman in high school, I used to read manga all the time, but it fizzled out as I got older. I've only kept up with with like a few of them, and that being like My Hero Academia is one of them. My Hero has just been incredible on fire. Though, just the whole war arc itself has just been absolutely amazing for me. So, and just Shigaraki, just he went from like a zero to a, I can't say hero, but he went from like a 0 to 100. Like he just went from one of the weakest. Like he wasn't ever really weak, but he wasn't really interesting. So it went from being like one of the most uninteresting villains in Shonen to being one of the most interesting, because like just his whole backstory, found out his dad, his mom, being not like all that stuff. It just, or his grandma being not just all that stuff. It just makes his character so much more better than what I really thought it was. So I'm excited to guys what you're bringing here. Make sure you give me a like, subscribe, and share if you guys enjoy. But we're chapter 287 kind of picks off right where chapter 286 left off, when Sakuragi had dropped Deku and he had pulled him inside his mind, or whatever, mindscape, whatever, and I guess trying to take one for all. And we see that in the mindset, we see Shigaraki, like he's like fighting with All for One, like All for One's like trying to take possession of him, which has been a theme, during this entire arc since he's come out of the tank. It's been a theme of him trying to gain and take control of Shigaraki, and to me, I think that's like the worst possible scenario. Everybody thinks like, oh, Shigaraki Rans is the worst. I said no, the worst is that All for One takes control of Shigaraki body. That's the worst case scenario, because can you imagine? Because like, yeah, I think it was all of was reading his quirk to begin with. He knows all about all the abilities, and he has 100 years plus experience. Can you imagine that in soccer, in soccer Sigaraki's body, like how just destruction he would be? And Sigaraki goal. I mean, it's pretty simple. He wants to destroy the world. That's his whole goal. That's his dream. He wants to destroy everything. Which is, yeah, bad, but it's like I feel like compared to what One for All probably have in mind, it would be the lesser of the two evils, I guess. So anyway, we jump right into the chapter with Nana. She says, "To think even my death could not keep us from meeting again, One for All." And it's so cool. Just God, Nana looks so fine. Nana looks so freaking fine. Anyway, they're in this mindscape, and Deku says like that's Nana says, whatever her last name is. That's we're one of the One for All users. And he says we're inside One for All, but what's happening with Kacha and everyone else, or Bakugo? Now look there, Tomori. As One for All says, "Wow, a dead person who happens to be your grandmother." Oh, the pathetic and complete Narasura stands before us. Wow, he's how is he's like talking shit? That's crazy. Like because he's with there with Shigaraki, and he's like talking shit like, "Oh, look, it's your dead grandmother who I killed a long time ago, and it's the reason why your father did what you did." And that's the funny thing, because Shigaraki, he idolized One for All. He was like his hero to him, like All Might was for Deku, but not knowing the reasons in the situation that he is and what happened to him. It's kind of because of his of One for All. I mean, the whole thing, his dad didn't get enough love from Nana because he was always heroing. So he kind of chose hero him. Yeah, that played into it, but he's also, I think, One for All is part of that big reason. But anyway, he's just like talking shit to him, and it's just crazy for me to see. I'm just like, wow, like even inside here, he's a dick. He says, we'll be in the middle of a transplane. They are the stories of people who personality and taste have changed after an original transplant. Though it sounds rather occult, there are plenty of supporting evidence. Wow, so now we're getting like deep. As for me, I prove the opposite dream from time to time. I prove the opposite dream from time to time. In my dream, those who quirks I've stolen, so up to her abuse my way. These episodes often leave me discarded. I'm really I'm really capable of feeling guilt for my sins like some ugly early person. Or is he saying capable or incapable? Or he's saying like some ugly ordinary person. So he's saying he's capable for feeling guilt for what things he's done. What's for one for all, that's weird because you gotta think this guy's been a villain for who knows how long, been tormenting people for like hundreds of plus years, and he's like, I feel guilt for the people I've done. And he's like, for the course that I've stolen, like unlike Deku and one and in one for all, he sees the answers. They're there to help him. But all for one is different. Like you said, they're there to actually hurt him, to hurt him, and that makes a lot of sense because you gotta think he's stealing, he's forcibly taking away these quirks from these people, and the way they're explained here really just makes a lot of sense. So like there is backlash for doing that. That he often has these episodes of people, of course, that he's stolen appearing and just I guess hurt and insult them or like into them like maybe like mentally some way. And you gotta think like how because Sakuragi, I mean not Sakuragi, One for All's been alive for hundreds of years. So we only know how many quirks he's stolen. Like how many quirks did he steal for each year? Did he steal like a million each year? A billion quirks each year? Like we have no idea how many quirks he's stolen over these years. So it's like how many people are there in like his transfer plane or his mindscape that's like messing with his mind? But here's the strange part. Once I get rid of the quirk, the former order stop haunting me in my sleep. So like once he releases that quirk, okay. Bizarre. No, Space says I'm certainly the type to hold a grudge myself, but my work with our good doctor is real the root cause. That is really interesting. Like it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense the fact that once he throws them away, that like these people will go away too because he's gotten rid of their quirks, and you can think like a quirk is like an extension of yourself, right? Not I'm not saying it's kind of like the bleach thing, kind of like how Zamato is in Bleach, how Zamato is just a extension of your soul, a extension of yourself. It seems like the quirk is kind of the same thing. So by when you steal a person's quirk, you also steal like an extension of themselves. So it will make sense that they will haunt them in his dream because not only has he stolen their quirk, he's stolen a piece of them. And once he catches that piece off, they go away as well because he's cast that part of them off. That makes a lot of sense. It really does sound like the Zanpakuto from Bleach. Just the whole that it's just an extension of yourself. And I guess quirks can work the same way. Just as organs and cells house memories of sorts, every quirk factor contains a consciousness of the individual of his wielder, if you will. Like exactly like a zombie told. I've heard some people were complaining, saying like they ripped something off from Bleach. Is this what they're talking about? Like the whole they ripped off the whole zombie thing's like zombie toast like an extension of your soul. Is that what they're talking about? Because if they are, like, I don't know. Like, I don't think they're ripped it off. I mean, Bleach is not the first one to ever use a concept like that in any form of like fiction or anything. Like they've never been the first, so it's really interesting that somebody that people will say, "Oh, they're ripping them off." As someone with the power to meddle with quirks themselves, I find myself in a unique position of being able to interact with those consciousness because he's stealing. Like that's what I'm saying. He's stealing them. That would make sense. I really love the way he's playing like with the mindscape right now, man. Like it's genius. Your quirks trample over others, sing my memory, Nanasia, Grandma, why you here? Oh crap! Shigaraki is actually talking to her, man. That's crazy. Sorry about that, guys. My blood kin to my little brother who have the power to gain his own quirk to give his own quirk to another, to grant his own quirk to another, also met us with quirks directly. When his original quirk mixed with the power stalking one, the result became a sleeper card to carry consciousness forward to future generations. Bro, that is interesting, man. Like, I really love the way they're doing this. I like how they connect everything. Anyhow, wouldn't you like to say hello? That no matter, and then so then I guess Nana finally says, so you're her son's son, and here we have Sakurai saying, no matter how we got here, Grandma, you can best rest assured that I also hate you with all my heart, and that stems back, like I said, to the whole backstory of Shigaraki. the hatred that he has for his grandmother because of the way that his father treated him, because his grandmother Nana chose being a superhero over raising a family. And it's definitely something that can affect with them, because you got to think about the mind state of a child. To have a parent, you see your parent, she's always on the news for this great deed that's done, they'll call her the best her in the world. She's always out there saving lives, but while she's saving other people's lives, she's ignoring yours. And I can really understand how that would mess with a person, and how that can translate from that kid to his own kid, and treat his own kid like that way, or just hating quirks. I believe his dad just hated quirks in general, and it makes sense why Shigaraki would hate her. Like being here right now, he's probably so mad. They said, "Good talk about your hatred is making its mark." So of course, One for All puts him on Shigaraki. He's puts him to go. The rule is only the will One for All can affect it, but your rage is starting to eat away at the very rule. So pretty much saying he's starting to consume. Oh my god, man! If he were to get one One for All. And then like I said, that's the worst case scenario. If Shigaraki gets One for All, and then All for One takes over his body, like, oh my god, the destruction, man. It's a whoop. Then he says, "Whoop! I nearly forgot you hate me too." So One for All is saying. So One for All is saying like I forgot that I guess Shigaraki hates him too, which would make sense because Shigaraki killed his grandmother, I guess, and that kind of like probably messed up his dad too. All the better for how fitting for the symbol of terror. Freeze, but it's still not enough, it seems. Since my brother as abstenio as I am, so he is the next in line, brother. It's just the same that I can never make you mine. It's so, oh god, we actually see his brother there, man. It's crazy. This whole Mindscape battle is it's just insane right now. Just seeing all the different things that they're going through, and just seeing this whole battle right now is crazy to me. I mean, it's just crazy. And I really, really like it because it's you get One for All, you get his brother. It's probably the first time meeting, who knows how long, but just the fact that it all just connects to like this astral plane, this plane of transparency, it makes a lot of sense. And I can definitely see why some people say it's a rip off of Blaze, because you got Zambato, you got their own inner worlds as well. So I can definitely see why. But I think I like the way they're doing it. I can't help but say like they're actually doing a very good job with it. Then his brother says, "We will never go to you. We have chosen to remain with this boy. Let him know, boy. Let him know." Like, I don't think Degu's about to lose One for All. I just don't. At least not in this fight. I don't think he's going to lose it in this fight. Maybe later down the road, but like maybe later down the road. But I don't think he's going to lose it in this fight. And the reason I say it is because, like I said before, there was the thing about his body being only 74% completion. And I really think that is going to pay off. Like that's going to be a big factor in all this, because we see even in the last chapter with his body being burnt to a Kirby crisp, his head and his regenerative powers weren't working as well, or weren't doing as fast. So I really don't think he's going to get One for All. He's going to get One for All from Deku. Then he says, getting beaten back. That's the one power that's never behaved how Master wanted. And Shigaraki's like, man, he's like, what the hell? It's like, I can't believe they're pushing it back. Because this is the one quirk that's always deluded One for All. It's the one quirk he could never have, where he could steal and take anybody else's quirk. This has always been the one quirk that he could never have. And he says, "Show me some power, Roy. Combine your shade with my own shade. We can steal them away. They are but a couple departed people who have failed to me. Brother, you claim you chosen this power in buffing when you know the truth. I've seen through all the Tomoe's eyes. This incredible power has been wasted on the one who could neither friend nor teacher, who could protect neither friend nor teacher." He's talking about Deku. "They were forced to defend him, in fact. What more, looks like his master gave himself over to the blind rays. He finds himself immobilized, squirming about, aimlessly watching on. Confronting this power to someone one so less worthy was a mistake. God, oh, damn, he's calling Deku a mistake, man. I feel bad because Deku just sitting there watching him talking all this garbage about him. He's just watching him talking all this garbage. And then his brother says, no, it wasn't. Someone who exploits people you can never understand what drives this boy to say, but let him know. That's what the whole thing of Deku's drive has always been, to want to help, to want to protect people. And when you have somebody like One for All, who's done nothing in his life but hurt people and take from people, it really does make sense like why he could never ever understand what's going on. He could never understand how to feel to be someone like that, because he's never had that feeling. This young man possesses a drive to save others that eclipses all common sense. I mean, he's willing to. This is, to me, is what makes a hero. A hero is somebody who's gonna do the right thing, who's gonna protect no matter what the cost, no matter how unbeatable the fight looks, how desperate looks, no matter how weak they are, they always get up and fight. And that's always been Deku. That's why I really say Deku, to me, he's like kind of like the perfect hero, because he's never going to give up. He's always going to do his best to protect and save the day. Our power is and will so is his, and we so follow him. Let him know, bro. And then I guess so. So explosion happens. We're back in the real world. Deku says, did he steal it? No, he couldn't have. Terrain, did he steal one from him? My quirk has not fully settled to your body, so you could have summon the power that still is. Don't block out, your body must achieve completion. Retreat, take stock. That's what I knew I was gonna happen. I knew he was gonna run away. Because like I said before, his body was not yet at completion. He didn't have he wasn't completely done yet. Like, oh my god, that makes so much sense, man. That makes so much sense. I figured like that was going to come into play somehow. Like he wasn't going to be able to like beat Deku or fight on because his body wasn't ready yet. And Sakurai, please don't start moving again. Sakurai's fighting, they were nice. Let's prep. Prep for what? So is this the League of Villains talking? To tear down this fake hero society, of course. Uh, that's the fire dude on the villain side. I can't remember his name, but he's the one with all the burns on him and the cuts. Are you fine with this, Toga? God, some of these guys' name I don't remember. I know you've been scanning for them. Those ELA Slams who you love so much, they are heroes. Where do they draw the line? If heroes are supposed to save people, then was Jin not considered a person to save? Well, they killed me too, so she's talking about twice. Man, that argument is hard. Because I can understand why people hated Hawk, why they hated what he did. Kidding Twice, because at the end of the day, Twice wasn't a bad person. He was messed up in his head and stuff because of his quirk, but he wasn't a bad person. He was just a guy who wanted friends who he wanted to follow and train. And he found that in the Villain Society, so he was gonna always have their back. But then you gotta look at the earning at the same time, like they're trying to destroy the world. So while he considered a person, you can only save somebody when they want to be saved. And Twice didn't want to be saved. He felt like he knew where he belonged and that he wasn't gonna stop. So why I agree with Toga, and Toga's like batshit crazy, so I don't think she can be talking. But when you got people like that, it's like, what can you really do? What can you really do to help these people? If they don't want to help themselves, they don't want to say it, they don't want to stop and say, hey, maybe we shouldn't do all this killing. As heroes, it's our job to protect people. And you want to destroy the world and kill everybody. So it's like, what can we do? So yeah, while Twice was a bad person, what he was doing was wrong at the end of the day. At the end of the day, like, Hawk had to do what Hawk had to do. And I fully agree with that, because I'm thinking about it. You got to think about the people and their kids. Like, if you have kids, like, I'm going to do what I have to do to make sure that, my kids are protected, that the world is protected, because that, as a hero, is my job to do. And unfortunately, I can't try to save you and protect the world at the same time. That's kind of been the problem with Batman, right? Batman thinks he can save everybody. That's why he never kills his villains, because he thinks there's some chance for them. But it's like, sometimes there's not. Sometimes they don't want to be saved. They don't want to change. So you have to do what you have to do to protect everybody. And that's one of the reasons why I say what Hulk did at the end of the day was right. Like, come on. that's all I wanted to ask Deku, and Ochi. So the mom, the rabbit girl, depending on their answer, I'll be fine. Oh, so she's saying like, if so, Toga just wants to know, man. Oh my God, does that mean Toga's about to switch sides? Like, if she gets the answer that she's looking for, does that mean she's about to switch sides? Oh my God, what if she switches sides, and then like one of them like just takes out Toga? Like, oh my God, that'd be crazy. Because what's like, because when you look at the villains' backstories, like Twice and Toga, say right, like they had messed up backstories. They had very bad beginnings. They didn't really have positive people in their life to raise them right, to show them a better path. Nobody cared to because they felt like they were a lost cause. And told us, no, like, do you consider us people to be saved? And I mean, at the end of the day, like, Deku wouldn't have tried to kill Twice. That's why I say that Deku, you know, one of the heroes from class, like they probably would have tried to kill Twice, which is why it had to be Hulk, because like a shit, like Hulk, he had to be stopped. Twice had to be stopped. There was no denying that. So, man, it makes you feel so bad though, because I know that they were friends and that they loved and cared about each other. And it just makes me sad because I still remember that moment when Twice died, and I felt so sad because I felt connected with his character. Like I said, well, yeah, he was doing was bad, but he wasn't a bad person. Toga, Toga's hard because Toga's like insane, like kind of crazy. But even then, like she really cares about Deku and the Arrows, and I think she wants to be friends with them. She just wants friends too, just like Twice. The people that she could believe in, and those hire her back. And it's like unfortunately she ended up falling with friends who were in a bad crowd, I guess you could say a bad crowd. So, but anyway, guys, I think that's the end of the chapter, guys. Like, wow, that was crazy. That was freaking crazy. And the reason I say that is because, like I said, what if like she asks him that question and she gives him the answer that Momo gives them the answer that they're looking for. Not Momo. Like I said, guys, so I don't know all their names at the time, but like she gives them the answer that she wants, that Toad wants to hear, and she decides, hey, I'm not going to kill anymore. I'm not going to get any more heroes. I'm going to turn myself in. I don't think that's going to go too well with probably some of the villains, members of Villain Society, especially people like I can't remember what they do with the fire, the blue flames, and you got the manga. Like I don't think it's gonna go good. But like I said, guys, this fight is over. Like I don't like next chapter. Like obviously, like I think Shigaraki's done. Like even One for All's tell him like, hey, you're not fully complete yet. Go back, retreat. So, and that's kind of something like that's going to play into it. I always knew that stuff. Like he didn't show that study completion for nothing. I always figured like that was going to play into it. And then you also have the vow that he got Monte. I think that's going to come into effect as well because they're still on their way to try to go get Shigaraki. But what if like when they go get there, Shigaraki's like, oh, grab Deku and kill everybody else. He tell Gigamonka to do that. I think that's when that potion, that thing that they Class 1A gave them, he is going to come into play. Because just like how the Save for Besiegers came into play, just saying like, hey, you're not powerful enough to steal his quirk yet because you're not full completion. Like it, like I think it's all gonna come together. But anyway, guys, this is the end, bro. It's been an insane arc so far. So far, I know a lot of people were like, "Oh my God, is Deku going? Is he going to kill Deku? Are they going to lose?" I never thought they were going to lose because I know some people are saying, "Oh, the heroes are going to lose. Then they're going to have to flee Japan to go to America." And like, I was, and in my head, I was like, "Yeah, like I don't know if I really like that because." While that'd be cool for world building aspects, it wouldn't it would just be weird to just jump so far from a story just to be like, hey, we're in Japan, and oops, now we're in America. And like they just take over Japan. But like I said before, I knew that slavery set before completion was gonna come in. Like the fact that his quirks are slowing down, he probably has control over all the quirks that he has. Like I just knew at some point that was gonna come into play. And also, I love what they did with the aspect with the mind thing and the consciousness and how like the quirks store like a part of their consciousness in them and how like if One for All steals them, he also steals that part of themselves. So the fact that they were haunting them, and just the fact that One for All was even able to feel guilt, that he was able to feel just any form of guilt. Also, sorry guys if I've been like getting mixed up between like All for One, One for All. Like it's sometimes I get them mixed up. But just to see that he was able to feel guilt, I was like, really him? Him of all people, the dude that's been torturing and burning the world for 100 years can feel guilt. That's pretty shocking. But it was cool to see Nana. It was cool to see that interaction her and Sakuragi had. Even though it wasn't long, it was still really cool to see the interaction that they had. I think that was important to see. And just just for him to tell like, hey, I hate your guts, grandma. You suck. Like just to see that like it. I wonder like if Nana's gonna have a conversation in the mind theory with Deku about her decisions and why she did like and how seeing the decisions that she made affected her son and by extent affected her grandchild and see what her grandchild has become because of that has become because of that because if Nana wouldn't have spent so much time protecting the world and being a hero actually had been like a mother to her child, probably maybe Sakuragi wouldn't have be like he is now. So I wonder how like that's going to affect her because we didn't they were trying it was a whole battle going on. Obviously it's not like they stopped in the middle of the Mindscape and her and Sakuragi had like a whole conversation, but it's just I think it's just going to be really interesting to see what's going to happen next, and just to see like Sega just to see One for All's brother, no One for All's brother. Is it All for One or One for All? I think it was one All for One to see his brother and just to see how his brother was like, no, we don't care what you say. He may be like a filler to you, but we're gonna stick with Deku. And just to see like that the other quirk wielders had his back, like it reassured. I think that really gonna reassure Dick like, hey, you weren't just some fluke. You weren't just the person I needed to pick at the time. You weren't second best. You were chosen for this, and we're gonna stick with you because of that. Because you have what it makes to be a hero to protect people, and I think it's gonna reassure Dick like, hey, yeah, I was born Corkless. Yeah, I wasn't born special, but I'm not like trash. I'm not just the second best. I'm here to do something. But anyway, guys, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed Beast chapter. I can't wait to see the next one I have. Like I said, I think the fight pretty much Ogre as soon as Sagaraki is just done. I don't really think he can do much because even One for All is telling him like you need to chill, you need to calm down. I mean, all for one is telling him like you need to chill, you need to calm down. Like you're not gonna be able to steal One for All from Deku. And again, sorry if I keep getting too mixed up, but you're not gonna be able to steal up from Deku. You need to retreat, which is what I thought was gonna happen. You need to retreat, you need to calm down. So what's probably gonna happen is he's probably gonna retreat. They probably for somehow Cigarette's gonna get out there, probably gonna train, go back to completion, and get back to full strength. Deku is probably also train as well to learn the rest of the quirk and what other abilities they have and really try to master it. So yeah, and then probably next time me will probably be like a full blown final fight. But anyway, guys, like Rox, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to thumbs up, subscribe, and share. And yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. What you guys think of the chapter? I hope I wasn't talking too fast. I know I can do that sometimes, but excuse me. Let me know what you guys think of the chapter. Did you enjoy? Did you like? Did you hate? What you guys think about? What are your predictions? What do you guys gonna think will happen? Like I said, I think the fight is over now. As far as the fight between Shigaraki and them, I think Shigaraki is just done. Like even like all for one and like all for one is something like, hey, it's over. You need to get up. You need to leave. You need to go. You need to go. It's over. Don't fight anymore. You don't have the power. But so let me know you guys think below. Like I said, I think it's over. I think he's probably going to retreat, and then Deku's going to retreat. They're going to train. They're going to come back. They're going to fight again. Probably this time just 1-on-1. And yeah, but let me know your thoughts down below. And again, if you like me, something, thumbs up, subscribe, and share. It's my first time doing something like this, so I hope you guys did enjoy. But as I cracks, I'm out. Peace.